What if the brightest smile hides the deepest hurt? Tonight, Jungkook finally tells us why he wasn't in that photo. And it'll break you. Have you ever seen a photo that looked perfect until you noticed the one person missing? And suddenly that picture wasn't beautiful anymore. It was heartbreaking. That's what happened when BTS released their group shot. Except Jungkook wasn't there. Fans searched the picture again and again, zooming in, hoping he'd appear. But the golden Maknae, the boy who never misses a beat, was missing. And when Jungkook finally opened up about why, his voice broke. ARMY cried. Millions of tears all over the world. Before we dive into this story, let me ask you, what would you say to Jungkook if you could comfort him right now? Purple heart. Share your answer in the comments, because tonight, we're telling a story that will shatter your heart and heal it at the same time. And if BTS has ever given you strength when you felt weak, then hit subscribe right now. Because this isn't just a video, it's a family conversation. The photo that shook ARMY. It began like any normal update. The group gathered for a photo. 7 brothers, shoulder to shoulder. But when the picture was posted, fans noticed something off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where was 7? The Maknae was missing. Jungkook, the youngest, the soul that completes the circle, wasn't there. At first, fans thought maybe he was cropped out. Or maybe he was behind someone. But no, he was simply not there. And suddenly, that group photo wasn't a symbol of togetherness anymore. It was a reminder of absence. ARMY felt a heaviness in their chest. Like when you look at an old family photo and realize someone is gone. The image spread like wildfire. Twitter trended. Questions filled every corner of social media. Where's Jungkook? Is he okay? What happened? The first signs. A few days later, BTS appeared together again. And there was Jungkook. But fans noticed something. Yes, he smiled. But it was small, fragile. The kind of smile that tries to hide more than it reveals. ARMY, who know him better than anyone, saw the difference immediately. They commented. His eyes look tired. Something's wrong. He's not his usual self. Then came the live stream. Jungkook sat quietly, reading ARMY's comments. And once again, the question filled the screen. Where were you, Jungkook? Why weren't you in the group picture? He hesitated. His eyes dropped. His lips trembled. And then he spoke. Chapter 3. Jungkook's voice cracks. Honestly, he began. The chat froze. Fans leaned closer to their screens. I wasn't there because I wasn't ready. He paused, as if gathering strength. I never want to stand next to my brothers and give ARMY a fake smile. That day, I couldn't give my best. And rather than lie with my expression, I stepped back. The words were heavy. But heavier still was the way his voice cracked when he said it. Jungkook, the boy who sings flawlessly on stage, whose voice soars above stadiums, now even speaking hurt. ARMY cried. Because in that moment, the world didn't see golden Maknae. They saw John Jungkook, a young man carrying a weight far too heavy for one heart. Chapter 4. The pressure of perfection. Since his debut at 15, Jungkook has lived under a title. The Golden Maknae. Perfect dancer. Perfect singer. Perfect athlete. Perfect face. But perfection is a cage. Every time he stepped on stage, the world expected him to shine brighter than before. And every time he stumbled, even slightly, critics were waiting. Imagine being told your whole life that you are flawless, and then being terrified every day of proving people wrong. That missing photo wasn't about laziness. It wasn't about disrespect. It was about exhaustion. Jungkook admitted, "I didn't want ARMY to worry. But I also didn't want to stand there pretending when I felt empty inside." ARMY's heartbreak. As soon as he spoke, ARMY exploded with love. On Twitter, hashtags like #WeLoveYouJungkook and #AlwaysWithJK trended worldwide. Fans wrote letters. "Jungkook, you don't need to be perfect for us. You just need to be yourself. We've loved you since you were shy, since you were a teenager. Nothing will change that. If you need to step out of the picture sometimes, it's okay. We'll keep your place warm until you're ready." Some even shared their own stories of skipping photos, of stepping back when life felt too heavy. Because in Jungkook's honesty, they saw themselves. And that's why the tears kept flowing. Chapter 6. The members' silent support. What about the other 6? How did they react to Jungkook's absence? Namjoon, always the leader, later said, "Sometimes being a leader isn't about pulling someone into the picture. It's about knowing when to let them breathe outside of it." Jimin admitted he had noticed Jungkook's struggle before. "I wanted to hug him, but I knew he needed space. Sometimes love means waiting quietly." Even Suga, who rarely speaks about emotions, reassured ARMY. "Don't worry. Jungkook has us and he has you. He'll come back stronger." Each member, in their own way, reminded ARMY that Jungkook wasn't walking this road alone. The power of vulnerability. For years, Jungkook had been the symbol of strength. But that day he showed something even stronger: vulnerability. And ARMY understood. Strength isn't about always smiling. It's about having the courage to admit when you can't. That live stream will be remembered not as Jungkook's breakdown, but as his breakthrough. Because for the first time, he tore down the curtain and let ARMY see the boy behind the star. Chapter 8. Letters that healed. Fans around the world started writing messages like prayers. One ARMY from Brazil wrote, "Dear Jungkook, when you hurt, we hurt. But please remember, you don't have to carry this alone. You gave us music that saved lives. Let us return the favor." Another from the US wrote, "You don't need to be in every photo to be in every heart. We see you even when the cameras don't." Thousands of letters arrived. And slowly, Jungkook smiled again. A promise from Jungkook. Days later he spoke again. This time his voice was steadier. "I just want ARMY to know. I'll always come back stronger. Not because I have to, but because I want to. For you." It wasn't just a promise. It was healing. ARMY realized. They didn't love Jungkook for being flawless. They loved him for being real. The bigger picture. That missing photo. It became history. But not as a wound. It became a symbol. That even idols are human. That even stars need to rest. That perfection isn't what makes someone lovable. Honesty is. ARMY learned. And Jungkook too learned. He doesn't have to stand in every picture to belong. He already does. Reflections for ARMY. Maybe you felt like Jungkook before. Maybe you've stepped out of the frame, skipped the photo, missed the moment because you weren't ready. And maybe you thought that made you weak. But Jungkook's story proves the opposite. Makes you brave. Because sometimes courage is saying, "Not today." And that's okay. Closing message. So yes, Jungkook wasn't in that group photo. And yes, it broke ARMY's heart. But in the end, it gave us all something greater. A reminder that love doesn't need perfection. It only needs truth. And when Jungkook shines again, and he will, it won't be because he forced himself to. It will be because he chose to. For ARMY, for himself. Purple heart. If this story touched you, if you cried with Jungkook, then share this video with another ARMY. And leave a comment below. What would you tell Jungkook if he could read your words right now? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay with us, because just like BTS, we are stronger together. Because in the end, Jungkook doesn't shine because he's perfect. He shines because he's real. Purple heart forever BTS. Forever ARMY. Purple